So, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be here, and congratulations, my sister Nima, on your first public event on authoritarianism. That is very, very important for us as Nobel Laureate and as women to fight for justice and for freedom and for democracy. And one of the things that's now reflecting what is happening in our countries is this title. Because I remember since 2011 until Trump took the office, I was trying to convince the Western people that the most important issue, the most important problem is the authoritarianism, the dictators. And if we want really to solve the problems inside countries and in the global field, we have to start by facing dictatorship, by stopping the authoritarian regimes from destroying their countries and destroying other countries, and destroying in the result the global peace. So I'm so happy that this is the title of this conference, and I think this will continue because people here in the United States started to suffer from the beginning of the authoritarian regime, the decline of freedom and democracy, the threat that is faced by the people in power that attacking the democracy every day these days. So as a Yemeni that think and believe that the solution came from the people to resist, to raise their voices against tyrannies, against corruption, against dictators. I'm saying that to you people here in the United States, that you have to start your battle for protecting your freedom and your democracy. I came not just something that observer, no. I came from a region that suffered from dictators, from occupation, and from misinformation. So we've been attacked by these three things, and they are targeting us as a civilian, as activists, as journalists, because they know that we are the one who will light the candle for the people. They attack us as a woman because they are afraid from women. Really, they are afraid from women. They attack us as journalists because they are afraid from truth. They didn't attack journalists and kill journalists, whether they are dictators or occupation. That is what is happening in Palestine now and in Gaza, that they killed more than 250 journalists because they want to kill the truth. They don't target them as journalists because they are journalists, no. They want to kill the truth. They want to kill the photo, the voice of people. They want to kill the knowledge of people. And the same thing when they attack any kind of freedom of speech. The dictators in our countries, the first, and the military coup, by the way, and the militia. I came from the country that suffer from dictators, from militia coup, Houthi militia coup, and from some kind of occupation by Saudi Emirates. So we have the dictator himself, Ali Abdullah Saleh, and his legitimacy, and the counter-revolution countries like Saudi Emirates and Iran, and the Houthi militia. All of them, when they want to take power, the first thing that they do is attacking expression rights. Is attacking the expression rights because they know that the expression rights is the way, is the most powerful tool that can take them from power. Is the way to spread knowledge, to educate people, to spread awareness about the issue. And through taking this, newspapers without taking any permission from the dictators, we were able to wage peaceful revolution against them. And because of the will of journalists and the people in the land, and the students and the young people inside Palestine, inside Gaza and outside Gaza, today Britain recognized Palestine. This is exactly, so this is when we give the platform for people to speak, to reflect the voices, to say the truth, to shape the narrative. Why they afraid from activists? Why they afraid from journalists? Because they are the ones who shape narrative, the real narrative. So now what is our duty as human rights activists, as journalists, as women, as men, as young people, as adult people that really carry that really afraid and worried from the deterioration that is happening now. Today, Maria said in her speech, which is very important, and I talked about it every time, that the dictators are gathering themselves. They are in one camp. They are now more than 75%. They are ruling the world. They are one of the reason. One of the reasons is because the misinformation, and Maria will explain that, but also one of other reasons, which is I said is very important, that misinformation is because of the Western governments. And the one who claim that they are democrats, who make a very big alliance with these dictators, and who've been very afraid from other dictators, like Putin, for example. Who encouraged Putin to invade Ukraine, for example, or Crimea before. When the international community and the Western government was silent in front of his crimes in Syria, they give him the green light to do that for Putin. So, and the ignorance of the media, international media, and some of the international NGOs, that they didn't look and search for the truth. They didn't go to the Syrian people, listen to the Syrian people, speaking with them why they really revolt against the Bashar al-Assad. Who is the terrorist? Syrian people or Bashar al-Assad? Who creates ISIS? Only the extremist people? Or there is a hidden international and regional power that support them against the revolutionary? So seeking for the truth is very important. And this is what you should do here in the United States. And I am warning you, what is happening now, and regardless it is Republican or Democrats, what is happening now is the real attacking against your democracy. You have to protect United States. Because if United States collapse under any kind of authoritarian, because what is happening now, not just stopping which is a very thing that attacking the expression rights, stopping the comedian or the journalist from running their shows or their programs. You have to refuse that. You have to raise your voices against that. Also, you have to raise your voices against any kind of restriction against students' rights. And here I am in New York. Students' rights. So as you are, all of you are angry about what's happening against the journalists, we have to be one voice against, because if we really want to defend democracy, the first thing that we have to protect is freedom of expression. And thanks for your founder fathers that they made, the First Amendment. You have to keep on that. But when you talk about freedom of expression, it is not only the right of some people to talk. It's the right of every people to talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Our far-right wings, or radicals, or the dictators campaign, become more stronger. It's because the Democrat people choose to be weaker. Because they didn't do their responsibility well. Because they choose the benefits, the interests over the values and principles. And here, I'm talking especially about governments, about the head of the policymakers, and about I don't want to talk about some of the media leaders, some of the researchers, some, but not a lot, some. But in general, people in the Western countries, NGOs, media, they are so good. And they are trying to fight this, conflict between interest and values and principles. I want to say that from my experience, as a woman who made a great peaceful revolution in my country, in Yemen, against the dictator, and a great peaceful revolution in Arab Spring, with in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Sudan, in Nigeria. I am belonging to this region that carry the same dream of all people in that region, that dream and sacrifice for freedom and democracy. Sacrifice for the freedom and democracy. We were betrayed by the democratic people, by the democratic nations and governments. We were betrayed. At that time, there wasn't conservatives there were Democrats. They choose to make an alliance with dictators and with counter-revolution leaders. This is what happened in my country. And why? They were afraid from democracy in our countries. They were afraid. They collapsed the outcomes, the great results of Arab Spring, and they forced people to flee from their country, and then they scream that they have immigrants and they have refugees. So the problem starts with them. It starts with them. Trump is very clear. And his gun is very clear. He hates democracy. He wants this country to transfer it to the authoritarian regime, and is very clear with he and his camps and his followers. Russia is very clear. China is very clear. And our revolution is against them from the beginning. But when you trade from one, you think that he is alive, you are alive, and they put the knife on your back, we have to say stop to them. And this is call for action, call for speaking out. As now you are so harmed, so afraid for America, and I am more worried than you on what is the situation that is happening now. As the one who live in America first, and as the one if America collapsed, all the world will collapse. All the world. So now everything that's happening in our countries, what is the first reason or the first excuse they justify this? Look, America, what's happening in America? Look, they took the students to the prison. They stopped media. Look what is happening. So they give them the lessons. They are so happy what is happening in America, and they practice it more in our countries. So instead of America giving the lesson to the world to be a democrat, now America is importing from the dictators how to be a dictator. Okay. as a people, and here, I think most of you are professors and or something belong to the university elites or doctors or mix. But let me talk about first about even there is one doctor. I want to tell her the first responsibility came from you as a member of the universities. You have to fight peacefully for your right, the university's rights. It's very important to don't bow to any authoritarian orders. To don't give up your education freedom. To don't let anyone to enter your camps to arrest students. To don't blame your student of starting thinking what's going on in the world. To give them the truth through your teachers, through your researchers from Yemen. When I studied to some research, I said, wow, what hell? They don't know anything about my country and they give misinformation. Misinformation is not just in the Twitter, Facebook, or no, even in the researches and books. From the beginning, they describe Houthi militia, for example, as a minority. As indigenous, not minority, as indigenous people. What the hell, how dare you as a doctor to describe it? You didn't do anything. You didn't do any research. And now, when Houthi militia started attacking the international trade in the Red Sea, they said, oh, they are terrorists. We told them from the beginning, they are militia supported by Iran. They attack our democracy. They made coup in my country. They killed people. And some of the scholars, when they describe what is happening in Yemen, they describe it in the wrong way. The same thing when they describe what is the rule of Saudi Arabia and Emirates and Iran. They describe it in the wrong way. So your right, your first duty is to tell the truth, to research. When you tell your students that Arab Spring fell and end, and it's totally become Arab winter and nothing else, it is not true. People are still in the land fighting for their freedom, democracy, and human rights. And the terrorism that you see there is the result of the authoritarian regime that support them. And they want to fear all the world from the alternative. And the chaos, the civil wars, the militia coup, the military coup, also is a result of the counter-revolution. Now, after the case of the occupation of Palestine, now start people to talk about what is happening in Palestine. Since 1948, until now, Palestinian people face many massacres. Many massacres. And until now, genocide is happening now. And still we are, no, is it genocide or not genocide? So, again, you as a professor, you should the flag of saying the truth and protecting your students. This is very important. I will end, and maybe we have time to discuss something else. But I will end very important. Sorry, do you want to stop? I will stop.
You can make one last point and
Okay.
then
Yeah, I will. In the peaceful revolution, the first thing that I did before years of demonstrating and making against the dictator peacefully alone, I went to the Sana'a University calling students to wake up and to help to rise with new dream of new Yemen, make peaceful revolution against dictator. The students came and replied and responded to the call and started the peaceful revolution in this, in the Sana'a squares, in the Change Square and Freedom Square. It's a long story, but the one who were the most important thing that gave the students the courage was their doctors, who were with them, who were with me in the first line. I will say the name of the most important doctor is Muhammad al-Zahiri. He was in the first line with his pen defending on his students. So shame on every university administration who encouraged press freedom and the right of people to demonstrate and sit in. Thank you.
Note to end on, I'm afraid